Hey guys, Wolvie here with a video log. This is the City of Final Fantasy Opera Amiya related for the 18th of August 2020. So with this particular video log, it is going to be a two-parter. One part will be some changes coming along with DFFOO related content in the future, while the other part will be just me talking about the LD Empress weapons. So, with certain aspects of this will be my opinion and my opinion only. I will have, however, the Dissidia database website link in the description, and this is only because some of the information I'm going to be talking about is from that website. Excuse me. So, with that aspect out of the way, I'm actually going to go into the LD Empress aspect first, so there are going to be some spoilers here, so you have been warned. Now, when it comes down to the burst weapon, the last one who just got it on JP is none other than your Stoller Rule. Now, some people were like, not, and by what I want to say here is that your Stoller pretty got some heat, in the sense of her LD Empress being kind of underwhelming. However, the thing is with units like Yestola is that she's not actually meant to be a damage-dealing unit. She's a support unit. And I gotta take a pause here real quick. I am back, so I actually had to release a sneeze, so I just didn't want to get that caught on the filming. So, with your Stoller Rule, if you look at her stat grid on the Dissidia database website, she's actually not meant to be a damage-dealing unit. She's more of a support unit, because you look at skill 2, her EX ability, and her additional ability. Those are three ways, that she provides at least some sort of brave battery. And I actually liked her burst and LD animations respectively, so I'm just going to go out there, stick my neck out for Yestola, because Yestola is one of my homegirls, and you can bet your ass I will be going after her LD and burst weapon when it comes to global in the future. Now, the last person who just got their LD weapon, it's a lot more disappointing, and it's none other than Sarah Ferry. The reason why her LD weapon is the most disappointing, because it just sucks. Some people were expecting a rework with it, but in all honesty, and this is the only part where I could see a lack of a rework for Sarah with her LD, is that I think what they might be planning for Sarah in the future on JP is like, would it make her too OP? Now, Sarah's stat grid on the Dissidia database website is kind of like certain other units where it's well balanced, but oddly enough, her attack stat is one of her weak spots, believe it or not. And I want to say Max Bravery being another weak spot. So, granted, it was really underwhelming, and that I can agree with, but is her main role being a damage dealer? And that's probably not the case for Sarah. Now, granted, she's got excellent debuffs that she can inflict. She's got good buffs that she can grant to the party. But I do feel she will be needing a second rework in the future. And one of those reworks, I do hope they fix the LD ASAP. But I will go into more of that pertaining to her LD once comes October in her character spotlight. So, yeah, it's just like, for Sarah, I really cannot say much good about her with her 8080 Awakening and her LD, mainly because she lacks a rework then. But it's one of those things just where I really had to really think about it. It's like, would a rework make her too OP? So something I'm going to be thinking about for a while. So it gives me enough time, gather my thoughts, all that good stuff. Now, I do want to address the fact that with the fact that Sarah is a sequel main protagonist, the question comes down to sequels, prequels, and spin-offs. Will any of those get their LD and burst weapon outside of Ramza? Now, the reason why I bring up Ramza into the equation here, let me see if I can grab him real quick. The reason why I bring up Ramza in this particular equation is that on GP, he does have his LD as well as a burst weapon. And this should be coming to global in the future. Now, the thing is here with Ramza, he's a spin-off. He's also the main protagonist in Final Fantasy Tactics. The question remains, though, we come to other, how I want to say it, other spin-off leads and sequel means and prequel means, will those be getting one too? And now, for some characters, it remains to be seen. Because we do know that Ramza, again, he has his LD, he has his burst on JP, but it remains for characters like Ace, Sarah, Yuna, and Zack. The notables in that mix. It's question will remain: will they get a burst weapon too? And the thing is with Sarah, I do want to point out in addition that if Sarah were to get her burst weapon, that means Caius will have to get his too. Because you have to think about those two characters in the sense of their appearance in 13-2, the sequel protagonist being Sarah, a sequel antagonist being Caius. Now, for the 13 antagonists, we're talking 13 main. They could still give this to Snow for that regard because the way Lightning and Snow tended to butt heads for a good chunk of 13, and the fact that in Lightning Returns, spoiler alert, Lightning does fight against Snow, and I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like anything is possible. Now, there is one particular unit who is on the NT and Duodecim roster, but she is not a main. It's Tifa. I do not think she will be getting a burst weapon at all because she's a major character, but not a main. And her not being a main will be more than enough. Now, there is a character who I could see a potential burst weapon with if I could grab him. Vincent from Final Fantasy VII. Now, the reason why I could see a potential burst weapon for him in the future is for a surprising reason. And that is, he is a sequel main. Believe it or not, folks. He is the main character of Dirge Cerberus. And the way I kind of knew about this is that he was one of the characters who, and I'll have to show this off real quick. I'm going to go into the token exchange dimensions ordered version, and we're just going to go into the stuff you see here. He is in this list, so there is a chance where he could get himself a burst weapon in the future for JP and later on in Global, because he is a sequel main. Now, another person who I could see getting one herself is Yuna. Like Sarah, she is a part of the Cursed Six. The thing is with Yuna, she is a sequel main in 10-2. She may be a major character in 10, but she is on the Duodecim and NT rosters. And the fact that she is the main for 10-2, that could be what gets her burst weapon. But, again, that remains to be seen with Yuna. She is more of a question mark than the rest. Now, how do I feel about the thing about burst weapons and LDs? The most reliable source for me, in my personal opinion, I'm going to show you guys really quickly, so that way you guys get to see where I'm referring to. And the hint is in the main story, and we're going to go into a little bit of Act 2, Chapter 5.8. So, we're going to go in, we're not going to do any fights here, but I'm going to zoom out of it So you have a grand total here of 16 areas where the blank spot is. So I'll just go over here, for example, is that where the thing is here. I'm going to zoom back in a little bit. Is that where Thing is standing was a treasure chest. Bleh. A treasure chest containing a specific weapon, and this weapon is tied to a dark mannequin. So with that, I do feel that some of the burst weapon representatives will be in this area right here. Like I said, Yastrola was the last one to get it, so when it comes down to the protagonist side for the main series is almost done. Meaning that some of the Final Fantasy entries has still yet to show up in sense of the burst weapons for both ends. But again, certain aspects remain to be seen. So, with that bit all out of the way, what about the life updates you've been hinting at, Wolvie? Now, as some of you guys already know, I am in the midst of moving. I have yet to secure a new roommate situation at the time of this recording. I'm not giving up on that just yet, but I'm still looking. So, when it comes to the time that I move, more specifically after the move is done, I'm going to be changing when I film things. And the reason why I want to be changing when I film things is out of respect of the new roommates, whoever they may be. So I'm going to be doing things during the day pertaining to stuff like hours, like, you know, before I leave for work and when I'm on my way to work. If I do any pulls, I'm not going to be talking. I may celebrate here and there, but yeah. So it's a major change because, like I said, I am moving. The circumstances are beyond my control. I do have a video log with more specifics than that. So, with that bit out of the way, just do a bit of a quick recap. Sarah's LD Weaponized JP, it's very underwhelming. I am going to go after it, but only because I love Sarah. I do feel she may get herself a burst weapon in the future, but if she does, then Kai's will be getting one too, because they are part of a sequel. Now, pertaining to some of the other characters that have yet to get a burst weapon, one of the more reliable places to go for hints is Act 2, Chapter 5.8, alongside the dimensions and order list of those getting their EX weapons. So that's and the reason why I refer to it as more reliable places because the Dissidia NT roster is not the do-all and be-all. There are some characters who are on the NT roster and or the Duodecim who will only get their LD but not their burst. Pardon the cough there. So, with the real life situation, I do have to reiterate that after the move is done, I will be switching when I film things from at night to during the day. So that way I have time to think some stuff over, do the filming in a cool, collective fashion, and then post it at night. And I thank you guys all for your understanding on the matter, on all of this. So I'm going to get going because I do need to get ready for work. So with Wolvie here signing off, I will catch you all on the flip side.